Hey everyone, and welcome. So let's just get right into it. Your LinkedIn profile. It's either out there working for you 24/7, or it's just, taking up space. Today, we're going to talk about how to flip the switch and turn that profile from a static resume into a genuine magnet for awesome opportunities.
So I want to start with a really direct question for you. Is your LinkedIn profile a strategic asset that's actively building your career, or could it actually be a liability? And seriously, you need to think about this, because the default settings, they are not your friend. They're not designed to make you stand out.
And that right there is the core problem. See, most professionals make this one huge mistake. They just let LinkedIn auto-fill their profile, job title at company. They just accept the default, which is basically like leaving money on the table. It's a massive missed opportunity.
But what if it's actually worse than just missing out? What if that generic, kind of sort of filled out profile is actively working against you? Well, some new research suggests that might be exactly what's happening. Let's dig into the data.
And that gets us to the real cost of an incomplete profile. And we're not just guessing here, we're talking about real, measurable, negative effects that have been studied pretty closely.
So check this out. This is a key finding from the Journal of Business and Psychology. Researchers found a significant decrease in how hireable someone seems when their profile is sparse. The takeaway here is that an incomplete profile isn't neutral. It's an active penalty. What you don't say is actually held against you.
And what's really fascinating is the why behind this. They call it the incomplete information paradigm. Basically, when a recruiter sees gaps in your profile, their brain doesn't just ignore it. Nope, it actually triggers suspicion. They start wondering, what are they hiding? And that erodes trust before you've even had a chance.
And get this, you have almost no time to fight that suspicion. Studies show that recruiters spend, on average, just 3.7 seconds scanning a profile before they make a judgment call. That's it. Less than 4 seconds to decide if you're even worth a deeper look. Your impact has to be instant.
So, how in the world do you make an impact that fast? Well, it all starts with the single most visible part of your profile, your headline. This is your 220-character pitch to the entire professional world. You've got to think of your headline as prime digital real estate. Seriously, it's not just a boring job title, it's the penthouse suite with the killer view. Why? Because it follows you everywhere on LinkedIn, in search results, in comments, when you connect with someone. It's that one-line elevator pitch that has to answer the question, why should I care about you?
Now, writing a great one isn't some dark art. It's actually a system. First, you have to know your goal and who you're talking to. Then, you need to spell out your unique value. What results do you get? After that, you sprinkle in the keywords that your audience is actually searching for. And finally, you structure it for maximum impact. Lead with who you are, follow up with the proof. And this just shows the difference perfectly. The before is so passive, it's generic. But the after, it's active, it's specific. It tells me who you are, and then immediately hits me with a quantified result. That 37% isn't just a random number. It's proof that you deliver. It instantly changes you from someone who's just looking for a job into a solution for a company's problems.
Okay, let's look at another one, this time for an entrepreneur. The before is fine, but it's just a title at a company I've never heard of. The after, though? Wow. It tells me exactly what problem they solve, who they solve it for, and the amazing result they get. The focus shifts from their company name to their customer's outcome. So much more powerful. And the payoff for getting this right is huge, seriously. When you look at top-performing profiles, making these kinds of strategic changes to your headline can get you around 63% more profile views. It's a simple equation. More visibility means more opportunities.
Okay, so your killer headline did its job. They clicked. Awesome. But don't celebrate just yet, because now the real work starts. The next big hurdle is your professional story, that about section. And this is where so many people just drop the ball. They treat it like a chore, just a longer version of their resume. Huge mistake.
This is probably the most important mental shift you need to make. Stop thinking of your summary as a bio. It's not a history lesson about your past. It's a forward-looking, conversion-focused landing page. Its one and only job is to convince the right person to take the next step. That's it. And how you build that page depends entirely on what you want to achieve. For example, if you're looking for a job, you focus on your role, your strengths, and where you're headed. But if you're looking for clients, you need to lead with their problem and how you solve it. And for thought leadership, that's all about your unique point of view.
The key here is to pick one primary goal. If you try to do all three, you'll just end up confusing everybody.
And this quote right here just hits the nail on the head. If you're getting views but nobody is reaching out, the problem isn't your visibility anymore. The problem is your summary. Your message is falling flat because you're not giving them a compelling reason to do anything. So to fix that, you need these 4 things. Think of it like a checklist. First, you need a hook, something in those first 2 lines that makes them want to click See More. Second, more of that quantified proof. Use numbers to build trust. Third, write in short, scannable paragraphs. Let it breathe. Nobody wants to read a giant wall of text. And finally, have a clear call to action. Tell them exactly what you want them to do next.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together. We've dialed in the headline, we've crafted a killer summary. Now let's think about the whole shebang, turning the entire profile into one powerful, cohesive asset.
Because a truly great profile isn't just a bunch of separate, optimized parts. It tells one single, cohesive story. The promise you make in your headline gets proven in your summary, and then all of that is backed up by the achievements you list in your experience section. It all has to line up.
So, if you walk away with just 3 things today, make it these. First, quantify everything you can. Numbers are your best friend. They scream credibility. Second, focus on the value you provide. Always frame things in terms of the problems you solve for other people. And third, always guide their next step. Don't ever leave them hanging.
Because at the end of the day, that profile is out there, making a first impression for you around the clock, whether you're at your desk or not. So the only question left is, what story do you want it to tell?